Walmart, the big giant Walmart, rolling back DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. The mega store announced it will no longer be following DEI policies and is not renewing a 5-year commitment for a racial equity center created in 2020 in the wake of the George Floyd riots from coast to coast. Walmart also says that it will be pulling out of a prominent gay rights index and won't be giving priority treatment when it comes to race or gender when they're deciding on their suppliers, their vendors that they do business with, right? Meanwhile, Jaguar, the British car manufacturer with all the electrical problems, their managing director there is doubling down on this woke ad after the backlash it received, which was epic, with people like Elon Musk asking, do you sell cars? Which is kind of a fun question after the ad. The Jaguar boss calling the response vile hatred and intolerance. So Foldi, the English are different. They're kind of funny. But you see Walmart saying, you know what, we're going to pull the plug on this stuff, and we're not going to do the DEI. We're not doing the racial quotas. We're not doing the gender, the left-wing game, and the gay, getting the index from the Human Rights Campaign that gives you a score for companies and everybody else. I think we're seeing some early signs of enough of this already.
These are, of course, all protection rackets. And I think 2024, we've talked about how it was a referendum on the left and the media. I think it was also a referendum on this sort of overcorrection that we saw in the past several years that obviously came to a head under the Biden administration. And I'll make an offer to any company like Walmart. If you want to abandon and jettison your DEI policies, let me know. I'll write a story about it because I think this is important. And, it's sort of a game theory thing here. Walmart has completely dominated the news cycle. Republicans now control all 3 branches of government, and you have Republicans lavishing praise. Republicans, the people who control the country right now, are lavishing praise on Walmart. So more companies should follow this lead. It follows a trend we've seen from other companies. But this is, of course, a juggernaut. And one reaction I think that sort of typifies this that I've seen from Congress as I'm working on a story about this is from Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, who said that this is a great rejection of DEI, and the replacement of that is and should be merit. And I hope that that's what we see follow through with this.
Well, actually, since you mentioned that, now I have to go here because meanwhile, some colleges, and we just sort of touched on that, some colleges are dumping DEI too. The University of Austin in Texas is swapping DEI for MEI. They call it MEI, which stands for Merit, Excellence, and Intelligence. Now, that is kind of an amazing thing, and students there are choosing the school because of it. Listen to this.
I remember visiting college in the northeast of the U.S., and the student guiding me there was like, we have different dorms for different student groups. I didn't want to go to a space that was like that.
Why do you think it's important to be at a college where differing views aren't just accepted, tolerated, but welcome?
We're actually listening to the other side and understanding each other. Still, we're friends with each other. I vehemently disagree with many of the things Jacob says, and I think you do too. I don't want to...
It's like what?
We still get along pretty well, and it's a beautiful thing.
So, Jason, you're a college professor,
Sure.
and you've got kids in school. What are we seeing here? Is this whole project crumbling? Is it shrinking? Is it going to retreat to the left-wing corner?
So I think it's funny, first of all, to be honest, I'd never heard of the University of Austin, Texas.
It is a new school.
It was created just a few years ago.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. Because I literally never heard of it. But, I think about it this way. So I was thinking about how when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, Trump vowed to replace her with a woman. And that ended up being Amy Coney Barrett. Are we saying, is that DEI? I'm just wondering, because he said we're going to put a woman in place. Is that doing it based on her gender, or is she a qualified person? I can show you the evidence. The other thing I would say is that your favorite black conservative, and I've said this before, is probably an affirmative action baby, whether it's Justice Thomas or whether it's Dr. Carson. They all benefited from affirmative action.